Okay, so you have a lot of different interests, but you can't really put them to use and you're not making any money with it. And you kind of feel stuck in your situation because, for example, you stand in front of 10 different doors. Like this could be one of your interests. Maybe you're also really good at cooking. Maybe you're also really good at writing. Maybe you're also amazing in making videos and stuff like this. Maybe you're an amazing woodworker and you can build stuff for other people that they appreciate. Maybe you're also a really good coach and therapist, and people just come to you with their problems and they share their problems with you. But you stand over here and you're like, well, I'm kind of good at photography. I could make music. I could also be writing. I could also offer some coaching to people. I could also maybe cook and stuff like this. And I could also do whatever. But since you're not really deciding, you're stuck in this loop where you feel paralyzed a little bit and you feel ashamed for also not deciding. And every year passes and you haven't really done anything where you look back on and you're proud and you start to feel guilty. And what ends up happening is that you take some job because obviously you have to make money, and you end up taking some job, maybe like some sales job or some random job you pick where you don't feel any meaning or passion behind it, for the reason that you didn't decide and you didn't pursue anything, even though you're good at so many different things. Why is this, and how do you overcome this, and how did I overcome it myself? So I, for example, had the same situation, especially in the beginning of my 20s, when I just couldn't decide what to do. And I realized later on that the reason I couldn't decide is because I felt like I need to commit for the rest of my life to these interests. So for example, if I were to pick photography over here, then I felt like I have to pursue this for the rest of my life, and this is going to be my one thing, because I was comparing myself to other people that specialized in one thing and they just picked one thing, and I felt like I have to do the same thing. But it took me a while to realize, but then I did, that I don't have to choose one thing. I don't have to be good at just one thing. I don't have to just specialize. This for other people is not for me. It doesn't work for me. I'm not the same. I'm different. And that already freed me up. And the second thing is you feel afraid of choosing something because you feel like if I say yes to this thing, then I have to say no to all the other things. Okay? And the third reason is that you simply overcomplicate things. You feel like from the beginning on, it has to be the perfect thing. It has to be a reflection of my soul. It has to carry weight. All my values have to be expressed. And again, this is also not true. So let's go through these one by one. So the first one I said is you feel like you have to commit for the rest of your life. You do not. One thing I started doing is to do small experiments or to give myself a time frame to just try this out with no judgment. For example, the YouTube stuff I'm doing right now. I said to myself, I'm gonna do 30 videos in 30 days, which I almost completed now. And then I can go and look back and see if this actually works for me and if I like it or not. And if not, then I can change it and I can evaluate my progress and I can move on to some other thing. But I don't sit there looking back like, oh, if I would have just tried this out in my life, I would have just done this. And there's no reason to do this. The other reason is that you feel like here, you feel like if you say yes to this thing, for example, to writing, that you have to say no to all the other things. And again, this is also not true, because if you do the first principle I just said and you try this for a certain period of time, maybe it's 30 days, maybe it's 6 months, maybe it's 12 months, and you continuously increase this. For example, you start with 30 days, you do a 30-day challenge, you do it every single day, very small. Then afterwards you feel like, well, it's nice, maybe you go for another 90 days, okay? And over time you continuously improve this and you do more of it until you actually achieved something with it. But you don't have to commit for the rest of your life. Just commit small. Whatever time frame you can commit to, start there. And then commit to a little bit bigger time frame. And you have to give yourself one time in order to see if this is actually the thing. You can't just do it for a week and then decide this is not. You have to do it for a longer period of time, but you can start as small as possible so you feel like you can commit to this. And I know it's hard in the beginning, but you have to start with the commitment, even if it's for 30 days, a month, maybe 3 months, maybe 6 months, whatever. And if you do this, then the other objection or blockage you had of not being or feeling like you say no to all the other things is gone anyway, because you just tell yourself like, hey, I'm just trying out photography for 30 days and I go hard and I give my best. I will do my best. Don't half-ass it. Give your best. And if this didn't work, or it doesn't resonate with me, I don't feel aligned with it, then I can move on and try videography. Okay? And over time, your life, you have enough time to try all these different interests. You just can't do them at the same time. And if you do them one by one, you actually move faster than what you do right now, where you sit around and you feel like you have to find the perfect answer before you can start actually, okay? Which is a waste of time. And the other thing is, you overcomplicate things. And what I mean by this is, again, it ties into the first principles I said already. You think you have to commit for so long, and you also feel like that you say no to all the other things, but then you make it very complicated to start, and you feel like it has to be perfect from the beginning on. It has to reflect your soul and all these different things, and it doesn't. In the beginning, it's not about doing your best work. It's just not. In the beginning, it's about actually showing up consistently and actually doing the thing. It doesn't matter what the output is. It's your input that counts. If you tell yourself like, oh, I'm gonna get into photography and I'm gonna become amazing at making landscape pictures, okay? Then it doesn't matter how your first 1,000 pictures look like. Not even the first 2,000-3,000. They don't have to reflect your soul. They don't have to do anything. They just have to be done and made. And once they are made, you can actually start focusing on improving the output. But first you have to master the input. And it simply says that if I did the same thing, I wanted to become a copywriter. That was the thing I decided I'm gonna do, and I committed to it, and I started small and I did the same stuff. And obviously, once I started out writing copies, my copies weren't good. They weren't selling anything. They weren't performing on meta ads where I was running them. The landing pages weren't converting, all these different things. And I felt like there isn't really an identity of me in there. They sound like just copied from someone else. But what I did is I wrote every day for months on end, 200 shitty words every single day. Every morning I woke up and I wrote 200 words on a Google Doc, and I didn't care if they are good. I didn't care if they are really lousy, and sometimes I wrote more, sometimes less. I didn't care. What I cared about was that I write every single day, and over time I would improve and work upon them. And what ended up happening is that over time, the copies I wrote every morning, they naturally became better, but I also embraced the identity of being a writer, and I started to improve naturally. So I started to download the best ads ever written, and I wrote them by hand in order to learn how they feel and the flow of it. I started to sit down for clients and work on more and more copies, and over time I became really good at it. But it started really small and I didn't overcomplicate it, and now I'm actually in a position where I can write copies that sound like me and that have some personality and that are nicely written and stuff like this. But in the beginning I didn't care. I just cared about me doing the thing and writing, no matter what the output is.